My name is Molly Green. I am the chair of the history department. I teach Western New York history to 9th graders and AP World History, a section of that to juniors. I'm also a 1998 graduate of SEM. We decided as a group that it would be a really interesting way to try to teach students by starting small and then continuing to expand outward as we move through the sequence of our classes. So we started locally with Buffalo history, and then 10th grade is US history, 11th grade world history, and then electives in senior year. So Western New York history starts with having students, helping them understand their own neighborhoods in which they live. We look at a sort of overall map of Western New York. Students are asked to sort of pinpoint where they live within our community. We talk about women's history, including the founding of SEM and the history of SEM. Many students come in kind of thinking like, why are we doing this? And by the end, they're like, I know so much more about where I'm from because of this class, and I think they're all appreciative of that. And I would say as an alumna of the school, like the history department has always been a super strong department. It's certainly where I got my love of history from taking classes with Harry Schooley. So we have a really rich tradition of having, I think, a robust curriculum within our department. History is always repeating itself, right? So I think, helping students understand like a lot of what we're dealing with in today's society is not new. There are sometimes issues that have morphed into other issues, or they are just, situations that have not been resolved. And so helping students understand sort of the root causes of a lot of what's happening in the world, and, also helping them understand, change can take a long time, but, you can be a part of that change as well if you want.
I'm Carrie Miller. I've been here for I think 18 years. I teach world history, AP Human Geography, World Today, which is a current events class, and then later in the year, the third trimester, I teach a class on the Model Empire. When I teach world history, I teach not only like the standard history, but I teach them about the Asian rimlands. I teach them about the rich ancient kingdoms of Africa. We really go in depth because there's no Regents test or anything. You can go in depth and really think about and be creative with the history of the world. All three history teachers, not just me, but all three of us teach the narrative of history, the story of history, instead of just standing in a lectern and spewing dates and events for the students to like memorize and spit back at us. We all talk them through the story of history, and the students feel that. There are so many students that say, I never enjoyed history before, but now I love it. It is the story of us. It is the story of people, and I love that moment when students realize that really what we're talking about is people just like them. There's so many parts of history that very well could have been us and are just sort of part of the tapestry of what we are all experiencing together. It's not something just to memorize. It's something to really understand that you are part of a greater picture.
My name is Jess Silverstein. I am a history teacher at SEM. I teach US history, I teach AP US history, AP government, and different electives. So this year I started a pop culture and history elective, which was really fun. I'm teaching America in the 1960s and marginalized identities in US history. Part of my goal is just to make the big ideas of history make more sense. I just think there are so many big themes and big stories, and that's what makes history exciting to me and fun to teach and hopefully fun to learn. We try and play some games. We did a mock trial earlier this year that really got into the Constitution. So I just want to make sure that history is kind of breathing a little bit. Studying history is important because it helps us understand the world that we live in through other sets of perspectives. One of the things that is most exciting to me is that, this sounds weird, but history changes. The things that we know or that we thought we know get overturned, we find new evidence. And so I think learning to study history through the lens of asking questions, trying to put a puzzle together, can help to exercise the muscles that keep our minds open in the present. because we keep learning, like, there's more to see, there's more to understand, there are more voices that we need to hear from. What are the perspectives that I might not have seen yet? And so I think it helps us to build a more complex understanding of now.